That is why if they are training you as a banker, they train you on the original currency code and all the securities attached to it. They don't bother to say this is fake, this is fake, this is fake. The moment you know original, when you look at the fake, you know it's fake. Amen. Amen. Doctors also, in training, they don't study sickness. They study the healthy body. They know how a healthy liver look like, a healthy kidney look like, how a healthy eye look like. And so, the moment it doesn't look like healthy, they know it's sickness. So, in order for us to know what is wrong, we have to know what right look like. Amen. Now, what is the ultimate end for this? Not just so that we have head knowledge and tell stories, but so that we can correct the abnormalities, both in the church and in the society, most especially in the society. Amen. Because in this end time, it will be kingdom against kingdom. Are you together with me? It will be kingdom against kingdom. For those of you that are a little bit older here, you remember that when we used to have missionary schools controlled by missions, when you send your son, your daughter that is misbehaving at home to the school, you get him back as a decent boy or a decent girl, because that school was built on the principles of the kingdom. And the principle of the kingdom is that we transform what is wrong to what is right. Then somewhere along the line, some people were not happy because they couldn't corrupt children anymore. So what do they say? They came to the government and said, you know what? Education is the bedrock of every society. When you let private citizens to run education, then you will not be able to have full loyalty of the people. So government, take over the education. And so most of what you call unity schools, what are they? They were missionary schools. And when they took over these schools, what do we see? Your decent boy leaves home, loves God, goes to church regularly, dressed decent. Now he goes to the school, he comes back, and you can't understand him anymore. Because the system that was set up by the church to transform people into good people was now hijacked by the evil people, and they are now using it to transform good people to bad people. Today, when you are sending your children to the universities or to the boarding school, particularly all girls schools, you have to pray and fast. Otherwise, your daughter will turn lesbian. Because now, they send their children to those schools. I wish I could read the manifesto of the LGBTQ plus for you. They say we'll infiltrate the schools, we'll infiltrate the, what do you call it, the Sunday schools. Do you see that? And then they will corrupt the children. And so you, father, you think you are sending, you know, we still live with this mindset that the school was what it was. So we don't even care what is being taught in the school. Do you see that? Now imagine you give birth to children and you give it to your enemy to train. Can you think about it? Just try to picture. You give birth to your children and your worst enemy, you now hand over your children to him. He's the one feeding your children. He's the one clothing your children. He's the one putting every single thought into the head of your children. What do you think? So when the school was missionary schools, Your children come back from school, they love devotion, right? They love attending church program, right? But now, your children, the moment they start going to university, devotion, do you see that? And then, coming to church, now, Popsy, this thing is for Jew, for uneducated people, because that's what was put in their head. And anybody that believes in God is not exposed, is not civilized, is not educated. Are you together with me? It happened in the West, too. It's gradually coming down to us. And we are watching and praying. Prayer is good. But the essence of this teaching is not just for you to pray, but for you to start setting up system. How many of you remember back then when you go to hospital, no doctor talk about go pay money before treatment? Am I correct? They just treat you because the essence of hospital was to save life. Right? The essence of pharmacy was to save life. But now every pharmaceutical company, the goal is profit. Now, if the goal is profit, if they cure you, how do they get profit? If they cure you, how would they get profit? Because if they cure you, you won't come back and buy the medicine. So